Thank you.
there.
Wow.
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 Wow. Oh.
Wow.
Hello. Mother's milk. Mother's milk. Hi, Julio.
Hi, Bowen.
How are you doing?
I'm fine.
You're fine. I'm fine too.
We're done.
We're done. Thank you so much. Congratulations on your book.
Thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit about what it is about?
Well, first, let me say that I'm very disarmed by how immediately professional. Yeah.
It's the tone
right,
shift.
right to business.
Right to business.
Yeah.
The tone shift is such a lurch.
The tone shift, yeah, it really did catch me off guard because I thought we were like, what are we gonna talk about? And you were like, no, we're talking about the book and
We're talking about the book.
Yeah,
No,
okay.
I think
I'm
so sorry.
No.
I didn't mean for this to have been sort of
No,
perturbing.
it's you're doing it.
Well, no, I think I haven't done this in a while where I've been in front of an audience and completely been overwhelmed by the schema of it, where it's just two people in front of a lot of other people.
Yeah.
It's so strange.
Don't Andy Cohen and Anderson Cooper tour just chit-chatting?
Yeah, they do.
How do they do it?
I don't know. You know what I want?
Yeah.
And I bet you and I have both had instances of this, but
Yeah.
my dream is to have the exact equal amount of people on stage as there are people in the audience.
We've both experienced.
We both
have experienced that.
Yes. Well, actually,
are you kidding?
Yes. No. But then I've had it so that it's lopsided, even where Matt Rogers and I both performed a show to one person in the audience.
Yeah.
So that was
Where?
At the People's Improv Theater, the basement.
Oh.
Yeah.
The world famous pit.
The world famous pit.
Black shirts, red ties, no excuses.
Oh my God. We can't do
The cruelest of uniforms.
The cruelest of uniforms.
Black shirt, red tie.
It's the People's Improv Theater. There's some communist imagery. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's probably a stretch.
Nothing
Anyway.
says communism like taking improv classes. Paying for improv classes.
Paying for improv classes, not getting paid to perform at the theater.
Oh, that's I guess that's common.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, well.
No, sorry. Your first question was about.
My first question was, well, what will you tell us about the book?
It's here.
It's here.
It's for children.
Yes.
Children to experience it. No,
Yes.
No, it's a children's book. It's the only book I've ever written. It's for children, so it is short.
Yes.
It is about a plunger.
Yes.
Who decides to voice to fellow objects, I don't want to be a plunger. No offense to the job of plunger, but I don't want to be a plunger. I want to be a vase. Mm-hmm. And all the other objects are but how and no and
there's in particular a villainous vacuum cleaner.
There's a villainous vacuum cleaner who so I actually think that vacuum is to me the most interesting of the characters in the book. Because so vacuum cleaner vacuum.
I'm sorry.
Tells our is very all the other objects sort of give in and are oh, okay, you are a vase, and eventually they all decide that they also want to switch jobs. Mm-hmm. A mirror wants to be a pillow, a cup wants to be light.
I love that. The cup sort of, that's a backdoor pilot for another book where the cup wants to be light.
Light.
Yeah.
Someone, I can't remember who was telling me that their kid, that they read the book to the kid, and the kid kept saying, "I want to be light," which I really love.
That's really
But vacuum cleaner feels threatened by
This new paradigm.
all the change that's happening.
Yeah.
And I think that I really wanted to include that because a lot of I feel like there's not enough examination of like the mind of a bully. There's just like bullies are bad, and
Yeah.
right.
But
then it's like, you know, like you might read this book to your kid, and maybe your kid isn't a fanciful little artist that's like, I want to be different. Maybe your kid is the kind of kid that doesn't like it when other kids are different. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And examining that, and it's like, it really like, to me, like vacuum is like best case scenario for like a Fox News viewer. That is like, no, like this can't be, and then, but then like when you engage with them, maybe because vacuum's whole thing is like vacuum doesn't want to be replaced. Vacuum is scared, terrified that another object is going to say, I want to be a vacuum.
And then another object does say, I want to be a vacuum.
Yes, and then
that's
when
when
vacuum learns eventually that by clinging on to a very difficult job, you're not being better. You're just being crushed under the system. That is a children's book, but it's like because it's like because the vacuum's like, oh, there's actually nothing wrong with like me having a coworker. Like
Yeah.
just because my job is easier now doesn't mean that I'm less valuable.
Right. Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh,
Oh.
getting some applause.
Okay.
I would say the beauty of this book is that it is allegorical, like a lot of your work might be. But in terms of like a children's book, it is this thing that like you can graft on like any manner of like concepts onto this. It could be someone bringing this book and being like, oh, this is about occupational identity, or this is about like another form of identity. Like, you know, I think there is this like pretty wide berth for anyone to like, you know, dock their ship in. I don't know what this metaphor is.
No, yeah.
Was that intentional?
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like any like sort of
Children's
like
book?
successful work of fiction would do that, right? Where you're not like
Being too specific.
yeah, you want every good story. It has a very unspecific protagonist. No. I mean like you get like or at least for children, you know, you're like not talking to a fully formed person yet. So their life can go many different ways. But hopefully, you know, a good kid's book gives them some sort of interesting lesson that they can like file away.
Yeah.
And then apply to whenever it feels like relevant. Whether it's like, you know, like switching jobs or deciding that they are actually not the person that other people tell them they are.
Totally. I think it's beautiful that you've described this as a children's coffee table book.
Yes.
Because it's sort of,
It is, yeah.
it sort of has that scale. Like,
Yeah.
this is like, you can't tell me this isn't a coffee table book for adults. Like,
No, I
have this on my coffee table book now.
You have this on your coffee table?
I do.
now? Yeah. Yeah, no, Julian Glander is the name of the
it's
illustrator.
fantastic. Really, really good.
And he did a really beautiful job. And what I liked about, like, the reason it like specifically worked for this book, I thought, was because I first of all, I wanted to write a kid's book that didn't feature
Animals.
animals. No, truly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because or like, I don't know. There's something about kids' books. A lot of kids' books, they feel nostalgic for something that the generation of kids that are experiencing it never experienced.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're like very like tender watercolor sort of, and it's like, well, that's not what kids are consuming, really. That's not like kids are actually watching like 3D animation.
Right.
And that is, to them, the precious thing that they cherish, right? It's like, so I wanted to do something that spoke to like what kids now find engaging.
Yeah, and Julian, because Julian does a lot of
Julian's a 3D illustrator, yeah.
like, well, he's a 3D illustrator.
Yeah.
He does like Nickelodeon and like Disney stuff. I think I'm probably butchering it. Julian, I'm sorry, Julian. If he's okay, sorry. But it's like Nickelodeon and Disney. It's like you already work in that. Great. Wait, I didn't hear that. I'm sorry. What'd you say? Good enough.
Good enough.
Good enough. But no, that makes total sense. That like it should like.
Because I was like, originally I wanted it to be still life photography. And then my editor Julia, thank God that she's really good. She is like, I don't know that kids are gonna enjoy. I mean, she said it in a kinder way, but like still life photography.
Sure, why not?
And I'm like, well, then I don't want those children reading my book. But then eventually we landed on this approach that there's something like uncanny about it, where it feels like you're looking at a photograph of the interior of a dollhouse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, totally.
So it's like just removed from reality enough to be.
Yeah. Oh,
engaging.
there's like a reference that like I'm not getting. Probably I'm like not cultured enough to understand. But like,
What do you mean?
like, isn't there like a style, like some photographer or some style of like photography that is about like miniatures and as they relate to, anyway, and just it's like those I Spy books when we were growing up. Yeah, I don't know. Do you know
What
I'm
are
talking
I Spy books?
Okay, so they were basically like Where's Waldo books, but for objects. You would have loved them. You would love them now.
Yeah.
You would love them now. Okay, but talk about this. Like, did it come very naturally to you? Because
Talk about this.
Talk about this. You ready?
Yeah.
I feel like you have done a lot of great work in terms of imbuing inanimate objects with like an inner life.
Yeah.
And so I feel like you got to do this with a bunch of different things in the book.
Yeah.
Was that fun?
Yeah.
Okay. What else? What else?
Yeah. I don't know. For some reason that I still like I've been with my therapist like, I don't know, like 3 years.
Therapy's not funny.
Wait, yeah, it's serious. We haven't gotten to why I'm so attracted to inanimate objects yet, but it's on my list of like stuff that we'll get to eventually. But it's like because it's like not a problem, we haven't gotten to it.
Yeah.
But it is interesting.
It is interesting.
I'm sure he has his theories.
Yeah.
I mean, there's something to like the piece that comes with as a writer, the piece that comes with like projecting character into an inanimate object in that you're not making any assumptions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
or that you never
no one can say like, this kind of person would never do that. And it's just like, well, it's a plunger.
Exactly. You never have to really like, go like.
No research.
No research.
Yeah.
But it does end up being like one of my favorite sketches, SNL sketches period, is The Sink that you wrote, where Emily Blunt voices over The Sink. Yeah.
Wow, we got claps for The Sink.
Claps for The Sink.
That is one of the favorite things that I've ever made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it
took like a half hour.
I know.
Heaven. Yeah.
I will just quickly say, not to like jerk myself off, but my favorite times writing at SNL were with you, and where it was just like, it just came out. It was immaculate conception. Like it came out within like 45 minutes.
Yeah, it wasn't hung up on like.
No, like Sarah Lee was literally you sitting on the couch and like me like at the computer, and you just like the two of us just like typing, and then it was done in like a draft. It was like perfect.
It wasn't like, is a sofa funnier than a chair?
Yeah.
Should they sit on a chair instead of a sofa?
These are questions that we do ask ourselves. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
No, but it's the second guessing of it all.
Right, and there was just none of that. Anyway, with the sink, it is this inner life of the sink in terms of its function, right? And I feel like that's what like the book is about.
Oh yeah,
right? Like,
yeah. I mean, I think that someone told me recently that I seem to be attracted to people, to like characters that are like having an epiphany.
Oh.
Which I feel like that's true, because it's like so many of the things that I wrote, I was like, character being like, why is my life like this?
Yeah.
It's like, hold on.
An epiphany, yeah.
Yeah.
Or it can also be, like, would you consider like an epiphany also a character, an inanimate object, going through something really dark but denying that they're going through an epiphany or a realization? Like, I feel like Julio does this wonderful series with Krisha and with Pure Pimpina.
Yeah.
Like
Krish is unwell, but I think that she...
because she's in denial. Like she's
in it, but she knows. She knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Pimpina doesn't know that she's...
Pimpina doesn't know.
She doesn't know. But Krisha does know.
Who's the publicist again? Not the publicist, but there's another character that I'm missing. A shape, like an object.
From the special?
Not from the special, but from... Does someone know? Gumby but blue? No, there was like that, like the... Anyway, we're not gonna find it.
Gumby but blue.
Oh my gosh, like there is this like cinematic universe. Does someone have it? What?
Oh, Josh.
Josh.
No, yeah,
Who's
Josh. No. You haven't engaged with Josh much.
I guess
you wouldn't
not.
know Josh.
I'm sorry. It's like this is like I feel like I engage with like this world the same way I do with like the MCU, where I'm like, okay, I'll just like cherry pick the things that I want to do. Like
yeah.
Like I'll watch Miss Marvel later and
Miss Marvel.
It's supposed to be really good.
Oh,
anyway.
Okay. I was I was thinking. I get Ms. Marvel, and then there's Captain Marvel, and then there's Ms. Maisel.
That's right.
And they're all like
women with tight curls.
Yeah, they're all corporate tools. One of them selling you like backpacks.
Yeah.
The other one selling you like Amazon Prime subscriptions. But
who's selling backpacks? Miss Marvel.
The
teenage
superheroes
one.
are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yes. What happened with you? You like did like a fun visual treatise on like women with beach waves.
Yeah.
Being like.
I have a lot of opinions about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we get into them here?
Yeah, I'll do. Yeah.
What's like the thesis on that?
My thesis is that the observation is that in superhero movies, which is the dominant genre currently, because I think that we're going through a sort of like 1950s, like people want to consume like easy stories that were like right and wrong, or it's very black and white, and like because I think like going through a complicated time want like an easy story.
Yeah.
So like the superhero genre is very like black and white, good and bad, and it's also very like I think it's also tapping into how we're all currently like policing each other's morals, and anyway, but in
The beach waves, get to the beach waves.
beach waves, yeah. So, all the, like, most of the female characters in these stories, regardless of whether they're a scientist, a superhero, a god, an alien, have beach waves. And I think that it's because they want. So and when we really think about beach waves, it's like who wears beach waves, right? It's like, it's very like it's like normal girl special occasion hair. Right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, my sister's getting married. So I think that, you know, I think that they want us to look at these movie stars like lifting a tank above their head or whatever like feat they're doing and be like, oh, I can be her. She's just like me. And it's a very, I think a very smart tool. Because also like the makeup's also always very neutral.
Yeah.
So it's very like, she's not intimidating, she's just like you.
Right. Who in the MCU has the most makeup? Or like has like the most intentional makeup? I guess none of them.
I mean, some of them are like blue.
Well, yeah.
But yeah,
they're not
that's
putting
their
on
skin.
eyeliner.
They're not
Yeah,
putting
yeah,
eyeliner on top of that, no.
Right. Interesting. That's so interesting. I have nothing to add. I feel like this is a perfect.
Yeah, it's like, it's truly, and it's like, yeah, every trailer that comes out, I was like, oh, there are the beach waves.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll be able to like index that to like this time in history. Like, oh, remember like 2010s, 2020s, when those were just everywhere in media? I don't know. There will be like a documentary in the style of like that White Hot Abercrombie and Fitch doc or something.
Yeah.
Like,
Which, happy Pride Month to that guy.
Happy Pride Month to that guy. Which guy? The photographer or the guy who ran it?
the Nazi that run Abercrombie and Fitch.
Well, it's the Nazi and then the guy who like took all the photos who was also like a fucking weirdo.
Oh, happy Pride to him?
Happy Pride to him.
Yeah, you're all valid.
Well, there's the book, there's the beach waves.
There's the book, there's the beach waves.
What else?
I
haven't seen you in a while.
haven't seen you in, not true, I saw you, wait.
Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while.
Oh, yeah.
We got dinner. Anyway.
And yeah, I haven't seen you in a while because I finally got touched by the plague.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine, I'm fine.
It's fine. He's fine.
Yeah, so I missed the trip.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. As I've said, all we did was watch The Hours.
You watched The Hours?
Yeah, we
Talk about going through an epiphany.
yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, there's the flowers. She's thinking. She's
Oh, such a sad movie. So sad.
A great beach watch.
Yeah.
Was it gloomy? Why were you watching The Hours?
We did ketamine.
And watched The Hours?
Watched The Hours. And it was really nice.
Were you?
It was really nice.
That's nice.
Yeah, anyway. And James was there. Mm-hmm. Your boyfriend James, my on-screen love interest, James Scully. It was like so the opposite of like what our characters would do, I think.
Hold on, wait. You're saying that
James and I and Matt Rogers, we all watched with Max Bernstein and some friends, watched The Hours together after doing ketamine, and then I did have the thought, like, in my dissociative state, I was like, oh, like this is so like
so unlike what your on-screen persona would
I was
do.
like, maybe the movie is not accurate to the experience of Fire Island because
The Hours? Yeah, okay, no. I thought that you were watching
The Hours.
Like Nicole Kidman with like the nose, and you were like, "This is so different than what my character did on Fire." No, I
And
see.
it's
I
true,
see. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I think that it wouldn't surprise me if your character in the movie. I think the way it will go is your character in the movie is watching the hours.
Yeah.
Joel's character would enter being like, "Why are you watching the hours?" But then like sit down and enjoy it.
Yeah.
And James's character would be like, "You guys are so cuckoo. You're watching the hours."
Totally.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
that's-
I think that I can totally see Howie watching the hours in Fire Island.
Yeah. And yeah. I don't know why. How did we get-
Which of the three
Women?
stories in the hours do you connect with the most?
I feel like Meryl does most of the work. I feel like Nicole.
Most of the work.
Well, Meryl has to like within one scene like have like a breakdown where she's like on the kitchen floor just like crying. Then like baking a cake or whatever she does like in the same scene like there's just so much going on. Julianne is just depressed the whole time with that boy and oh my God! But wait, do people remember the part where she and Toni Collette kiss? And then after they pull away, Toni Collette goes, "This is so devastating." She goes, "You're sweet." The worst thing you could possibly say to someone after they
You're
kiss you.
sweet.
Sweet.
I bet you enjoyed that.
Oh my God. So sad. And then Nicole, I think Nicole, I don't know, I don't want to say anything. I love Nicole Kidman.
Oh.
But I just think like she has like one amazing moment.
You don't want to trash your peers.
I'm not going to trash my peer, Nicole Kidman. No, Nicole's phenomenal.
Nicole Kidman is truly one of my favorite
Truly
actors.
one of my favorite actresses.
Because she will commit 100% to everything.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's any genre that she has not.
Have you and I talked about Bewitched? Nicole Kidman and
We have
Bewitched.
not talked about Bewitched.
Fantastic. One of the first movies about.
You liked it. You liked Bewitched.
I love Bewitched. I think I saw it twice in theaters. You know
What?
why? You know why? Because I was so excited that it was one of Kristen Chenoweth's first film roles. I was like, I want to see Kristen Chenoweth.
See,
in a movie.
I'm a different variant of
I
gay.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That means
Nothing to you.
yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
but no disrespect.
No disrespect to Kristen.
Um,
your peer, Kristen Chenoweth.
My Kristen Chenoweth. So Bewitched, the show in what, the 60s?
The show, yes, and the show is kind of meta. Like Will Ferrell plays this actor who like his career is not doing great, and so they're rebooting Bewitched as this new like multicam show, and like they're looking for
The plot is like, okay, so it's like in the world of Bewitched the movie.
yes. Bewitched is
the show that we
show.
know from the past that they
Yes.
are currently rebooting, but they hired an actual witch to play the role, right?
I think that's really clever. And I think it really is.
I think it's I think it's interesting, but I can't remember the movie very well.
All you have
She
to
was
know-
also Stepford Wives. She was also in the
Stepford
remake
Wives.
of Stepford Wives.
It was like Stepford Wives, The Others, and then at that point it was like, oh, Nicole Kidman is like prestige actress. Not that she wasn't like, or you know, and then like Eyes Wide Shut or whatever.
And
but,
Birth is one of my favorite movies.
Which movie?
Birth?
Birth, yes, of course, and then The Hours. Anyway, I don't want the soundbite to be that like Bowen Yang doesn't think Nicole Kidman deserved the Oscar from The Hours.
Too late,
does.
baby.
Well, I just remember being like obsessed with Chicago, and then Nicole beat out Renee
Bowen Yang
Zellweger.
lashes out Nicole Kidman. Bowen Yang confronts Nicole
Confronts
Kidman.
Nicole Kidman. A children's book event. Yeah.
At children's book event.
Anyway, okay. I think is it time for audience questions now?
You just want to get out. I don't
No.
think it's time for audience. They said they were going to come
said-
and tap you.
Okay.
When it was time for audience questions.
Before we go to audience questions.
Yes.
But before, is there anything else you want to say about the book before we move on? Putting you on the spot.
It's a move product. No,
It's a lovely.
I think, yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah, ask a question about the book.
The first spread of the book is a skyline
Yes.
of a city,
Yeah,
and there are mountains.
yes.
Where do you think the city? What
Well,
is the city?
actually, yeah, this is something that we went back and forth with a lot. Which, like, I like to think that the book is almost like storyboarded.
Yeah.
And the placement of the text, I wanted it to feel kind of like memes.
Yes.
In that, like, because I think memes are very efficient at telling a story. And, so the placement of the text was important. But anyway, I didn't want it to look like the story was taking place in like the sort of like idyllic suburban house that
Right.
a lot of kids stuff take place in.
Yep.
So I'm like, I don't know, it's skyscrapers in a mountainous city, wherever that might be.
Okay.
Wherever that might be.
Wherever
yeah.
that might be.
I'm trying to think if I have anything else to say about the book. It's.
I do want to mention this.
Yeah.
And what I think why I love those first few pages, just sort of like being just having just like it kind of like zooms in. It's storyboarded. It zooms into this apartment. Is that it's slow, right? Would you? No, I'm saying in terms of like the pace of it is like.
Yeah.
You get like settled in, which a lot of children's books aren't concerned
Children's
with
book
that.
has like, I want the candy.
The candy. Where is
the candy. Where is it? And then they learn that they can't eat candy.
Yeah.
But actually, I did want the rhythm of it to just like set, like if the book were a body of water, I think it's a stream where you're like going along and you're like discovering. And the first half of the book, I think centers around the plunger character a lot, and then the second half, because I think like children's. Most media right now, but especially children's media, is really obsessed with the idea of a remarkable individual, and that and the message seems to be over and over again that if you are remarkable, and if you work really hard, you're gonna succeed above everyone else, and that's the goal.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to like, and so the second half of the book focuses, I think, around more the community that this character is embedded in, and how this character's happiness can affect the happiness of others around you. Because I think that, I don't know, I think kids should hear that they are special and wonderful, but not enough of them hear, side note, everyone else is also special and wonderful.
Yeah.
And everyone else also deserves happiness. You're not like, because it's like, I remember being a little kid and watching like Beauty and the Beast, for example, and then it's like at the end, like she gets to like live in the castle, and I'm like, okay.
But what about
But your little object friends are now gonna
your servants?
make your servants.
Yeah.
Like Mrs. Potna has to like wake up earlier than you, and like that's the goal for
Yeah.
you to like, yeah. There's something like very narcissistic about that.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're kind of like trying to subvert like any future main character syndrome stuff in whatever kids read this book. And also, I think
Yeah.
there's something very nice about, I do think you like bifurcate it, like the second half of the book is, I think is it fair to say, I think that focuses on vacuum.
Yeah, I think so.
And it's very like Chungking Express. It's very, anyway, I watch movies, the hours. Okay,
Yeah.
We'll take questions now.
We'll take questions now.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Perfect. Okay, here we go. Luisa asks, what's a book you read as a kid that had life lessons you apply today?
You know, as a kid, I think that informs a lot of this book. I didn't read kids' books. My parents always had coffee table books and like art coffee table books.
Yeah.
And I would like art history. Like I loved like a broad survey art history of the world coffee table book. And then I don't know, I feel like was very stimulating and like, oh, people see things in different ways.
Yeah.
And people portray, and different artists portray their reality in completely different ways. Yeah, so like my fondest memories with books as a kid was just like,
Art coffee table books?
yeah, and my dad also had that Madonna coffee table book, which I loved.
So cool.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, my parents just, like, we didn't grow up with children's books either, and all I would flip through was, like, not coffee table books, but, like, art history textbooks that my mom would buy from, like, garage sales.
Yeah.
And I would just flip through it, and, like, that would be, like, my sexual awakening. I would, like, flip through to, like, I don't know, like, the Statue of David, and it'd be like, oh.
I was like, oh?
There it is. Okay. This is a little, well, why not, let's answer this. What is your favorite memory from your time together at SNL?
Aww.
What is our favorite memory?
Well, we overlap by like
one semester.
Yeah. We overlap by one semester, and I was barely there.
But you,
yeah.
Thank God you were there because, okay, so my first season writing at SNL, Julio in the first half of the season was in Chile shooting Los Spooky season 1. But it was this, I mean, I called you when I got the offer. I was like, should I take this? And you were like, yes, do it. I won't be there though. And I was like, okay. But I took it, and then it was a really tough, it's always a tough first half of the season for anybody who works there in any job. But I kind of was feeling like I was underwater, and I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. I'm so bad at this job, I'm gonna get fired. And then you came back in the second half, and like you just kind of showed me like that there was this different modality, because I went in being like, okay, I gotta learn how to write a game show sketch, I gotta learn how to write a commercial parody, I gotta learn how to write.
When was the last time you watched a game show? Why are you writing game show sketches?
But then Julio came, and then you were like, no, we can actually write whatever we want. And like we can just like do whatever we want to do. And that was like, really? And then that was when we wrote like Checks, like working, like Checks was like.
Checks is very misunderstood. Checks did not get the. Checks
yeah.
did not get the
write-up.
Checks did not get the
write-up treatment.
Checks, yeah, I love Checks.
Yeah, I know. Well, that was like my first like.
It was about Checks.
It was about Checks. But that was like my first. I think that was my first sketches that I got on, and I was like so excited. I was learning so much, and we shot in that big crazy bank in Williamsburg.
By the Peter Luger Steakhouse.
By the Peter Luger Steakhouse.
Your fondest memories are the Peter Luger,
yes.
the venue next to the Peter Luger.
In the venue next to the Peter Luger Steakhouse. No, I mean I just liked that time when I was like.
But you were already so. I was so impressed that like I truly came in and you knew the job so well, better than I ever did.
Well, I knew like
you knew like
where the printer was. It's like all. It's not.
No, but stuff that like someone was like, oh, you need to like call hair and tell them that like, this wig is gonna change, and you like knew the extension, and
the printer.
And it's like I would never like, but you were like already very, because you're very.
Clerical.
You're very studious.
Yeah.
You're good with the You're very you don't half-ass anything. You're very studious.
That's true, but thanks.
So there's no winging it. And I thought that was very impressive.
Thanks. That's very nice.
It is.
All right. Oh.
You don't like some of these questions?
Well, no. I'm just flipping. A lot of them are like for me, and I feel like that's not.
No, I'll ask.
Okay. All right. Here. You want to ask this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
How did it feel to have the Bechdel test officially amended? Wow. And then there's a cute little joke.
A cute little joke. I don't know. It was just, I kind of, in the way that I feel for Vacuum, or in the way that you've written Vacuum,
Yeah.
I did feel a little bad for that woman.
That woman. That doesn't pass the Bechdel test.
For F minus woman.
Yeah.
You know, she just wanted. I mean, you know, it's like she wanted to wanted to come in on like the dunk culture of it all that we're all obsessed with.
Should we give like a spark notes of what you're talking about?
Oh, sure. Okay, so this writer, and I think she supervises a lot of the podcast content at New York Magazine, Hannah Rosen, tweeted something where she said that Fire Island gets an F minus, a grade that does not exist. An F minus on the Bechdel test because we succumb to like the drab lesbian stereotype anyway. And that are we sort of absolving that with like cute gay Asian boys? And so yeah, it was just, I saw that, I rolled my eyes at it, and I think I laughed at it. I was like, that's a reach, but then I was like, okay, and that's like someone who like wants to like, you know, who is on this platform that incentivizes like a bad opinion like that, and so therefore what happened after that was like a lot of people like fucking ripping this woman apart in a way that like also
on a beautiful website,
on a beautiful website, Twitter.com, but in a way that like
for well-balanced individuals.
Yes. But in a way that, like, you know,
to express beautiful thoughts.
Yeah. And people did share really wonderful, nuanced thoughts, and like they were being very funny and, you know, not being too harmful to this person. But I did also think like, okay, well, this site is just about dunking on people in that way. And I was like, I didn't feel great about it, but then Alison Bechdel herself tweeted something a corollary, and it was very sweet. It was just really funny. I think we all just like
it was.
It felt like a cute little like C plot on Twitter, where like the other stories were horrific.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Like the one like little kind of it's sort of like a levity C plot. That's all. Okay.
Yeah, but it's like if it's a story. Fire Island the movie. It's a story set. I don't know. Sometimes you see a movie. Mm-hmm. And someone like you isn't in the movie, and that's okay.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes representation matters.
Yes. Representation.
But not everything. Yeah. But not everything's about you. I know. It's like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have nothing else to add.
You know, sometimes I see a World War II movie and I'm like, there are no queer Latinx. It's just like, no, there aren't.
No, there aren't.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Oh, this is a good question.
That's gonna be my headline.
Andrew asks, Julio, if you were to adapt a classic fairy tale, which one would you adapt?
Oh, that one got humps from the audience. Like,
It's very much like this is like very applicable to your, I think your ethos.
Yeah, a classic fairy tale. Which one would I adapt? Adapt to what medium?
I guess to, let's just say, an animated movie.
I think it's the object thing again.
Yeah.
I like my favorite of those fairy tales growing up was Pinocchio. And there was something to like, I was like, I too want to be a real boy.
Yeah.
It's like, I must learn how to be a real boy. That was my childhood. I was just like observing other boys being like, how do I become a real boy?
See, like,
Wooden performances. For me, yeah.
I will say that Julio is working on a film, and that he wrote, but his acting is exquisite. It's not wooden, but okay, I'm just gonna get that out of the way. But then also, for me, Pinocchio is not like a conduit to empathy because I'm like, I don't relate because I am a real boy, and so I don't know what this toy is going through.
You're like, I don't know. Good luck to you.
Yeah. That's how
I don't fucking know. Good luck to you.
Good luck to you. You have a cricket and a fucking fairy witch who can like give you whatever you want. Like you're better resourced than I am.
Wow. You were jealous of Pinocchio.
Not jealous. I just went, oh, if you can overcome this with all that you have at your disposal.
You have a cricket and a fairy.
A cricket and a fairy.
More than most people have.
Exactly. Okay, we have time for maybe one more question. Okay, hold on. Okay. What do you imagine would be next in the SLCU, Sara Lee Cinematic Universe? From Emma, a faithful reader and shape observer.
Oh.
SLCU.
You know, it's funny.
Wait, should we, yeah, but no.
No, you start.
I think I've dropped hints of this, but I've told some people about Chef Boyardee. Should we tell them about Chef Boyardee?
Remind me what?
So Timothy Chalamet hosted 2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
And we had written him a sequel.
We did?
We did. We wrote him a Sara Lee sequel.
Yes. Yeah. Chef Boyardee.
Chef Boyardee.
Yeah.
Where it was basically the same thing.
Same thing. It was exactly the same thing.
Exactly the same thing.
A cherished Saturday Night Live tradition of, I did another one of the thing that you liked.
And you want to know what I was told, which is actually bullshit?
What?
I brought it up. I submitted it, and
what did Timothy say?
No, Timothy didn't do anything. But one of the producers said,
God forbid we drag Timothy.
No, we're not going to drag Timothy. He's wonderful. But one of the producers said,
yeah.
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 One of the producers was like, I don't know, it just feels like we've done it so many times. And I was like, the one time we've done it? I don't know.
Yeah.
It pissed me off. I'll go on the record, like that was so fucking stupid. I was like, you're wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But okay, so what's next in the Sara Lee universe?
What's next in the Sara Lee? Yeah. What brand would you think? Because this was,
originally
it was Nestle, and then we changed it to Sara Lee. But we spent so much time trying to figure out what the brand would be because we couldn't do Nestle.
Lawyers were upset.
Nestle bought ad space on NBC, so we couldn't really make fun
Big
of them.
Chocolate had bought the.
Big Chocolate had had airtime.
Yeah.
So we spent I would say
That was actually very laborious, coming out with a brand that was clearable,
fun, ironic enough, and the horny social media aspect of it all.
Bland enough for it to be surprising that it had a.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I feel like since then, every brand is trying to develop a social media persona. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's this whole thing of the green M&M of it all. It's
Yeah. Or the horrific thing that's going on now this month is the Postmates thing. Have you heard about this?
What's the Postmates thing?
They're running a special that's bottom-friendly foods.
This needs to stop.
This needs to stop.
This is actually that is something that okay. Wait. I'm gonna bring it back to the. I'm gonna say something and then go home and regret it.
Okay.
But this is why I'm when people get very worked up about when people start seeing representation as the end all be all. Mm-hmm. What it allows is for a company to be okay, we recast it, now buy it. And and then we're tricked into thinking that consuming is an act of activism.
Yes.
And that it's if you, it's actually important that you order on Postmates because representation matters. And it's wait, hold on. how is that helping? And it's
Right.
like, and then like all this like, and I feel like
As if it's like a piece of legislation or something.
as if it's like, yeah. And it's like, I feel like the scales are finally tipping because I've observed the same structure of joke happen over and over again this Pride, where it's like, all my life I've dealt with trauma, which is why
Yeah.
I order on Postmates and now I'm happy, right? And yeah, this is like, oh, we are, this trick that corporations are pulling off where they make people think that they are good and that consuming whatever they're selling, whether it's media or a product or a service, is an act
virtuous.
of good.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
It's like, ugh.
I even feel this way in terms of people talking about Fire Island, the movie, being like, I watched it, it's finally time for, queer Asian voices, which I get what they're saying, but also they feel like they must, or some people go, it's a call to action. They go, you have to watch it in order, because it's about queer Asian people. I go, no, I say, you watch it if you want to, because it might be a movie that you enjoy. Like, that's all it is for me.
Yeah.
Like, it might be like a good movie that you like, and if you don't like it, that's fine too. Like, it's not this like, the call to action of it all is a little, like, it's all getting so conflated. Like, call your senators the same thing as like, buy this suit.
because it gives us an easy out, right? It's like, well, I did something this year because I watched Fire Island, the movie.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So I'm a good person.
Right. Anyway.
Yeah.
I think that's our time.
Yeah, buy the children's book.
Buy the children's book. Okay, bye everybody.
Yeah, bye.